My name is Molly Totsky. This is my Do Something and Report About It project, otherwise known as the DSARI project for BBE 2201. This is for the fall semester of 2019. For the Do Something piece of the project, a small DIY home energy audit was conducted. Some background information on the audit is that it took place in a split-entry style house. The house is 1,583 square feet and currently has 4 residents living in it. The house was built in 1967, so as it was not built super recently, it is not as energy efficient. A kilowatt meter was used for the audit, as well as Microsoft Excel software. A picture of the kilowatt meter is shown on the slide. Some energy use context information shows that in 2018, the monthly average usage per home was 914 kilowatt hours. The average monthly usage for a Minnesota home was 817 kilowatt hours. The average Minnesota home is 1,828 square feet, which is slightly smaller than my home. The average energy expenditure per capita in Minnesota is $3,604, which gives Minnesota a 24th rank nationally. This is interesting because Minnesota is below average for energy uses, but is about average for energy cost. The average retail price for energy in Minnesota is about 10.27 cents per hour, which is a similar cost to my home. There are also a couple graphs shown on the page. One shows Minnesota energy uses by sector. This one is shown on the left, and it shows residential energy usage at about 21%. The middle chart shows energy consumption for states on a map, and is shown Minnesota to be somewhere in the middle to lower range. The third chart shows the breakdown of Minnesota home energy usage as a pie graph. You can see that heating and cooling, as well as appliances, are the biggest users. The appliances I measured were a lamp. The lamp used 2 light bulbs. I used the wattage from each bulb to calculate the usage of energy. I also did measure power with the meter for personal comparison. I also measured a space heater, fan, TV, dehumidifier, clock, laptop charger, and phone charger. Both the space heater and TV use phantom power, but the TV used more phantom power. The dehumidifier was a variable power appliance. The pictures show the dehumidifier and TV being measured. You can also see a picture of me measuring the space heater plug-in, and you can also see my dog in the picture, which is kind of fun, I think. This next slide shows the quantification and results for my home energy audit. The first table shows the measured time that each device was on each day. Devices that were on the most were my digital clock, laptop, and phone charger. The device that was on the least was the dehumidifier. The device that fluctuated the most from day to day was the television. This is to be expected, as on the weekends more television was watched than on weekdays. The next table shows the power measurements for the devices. The devices that took the least amount of power was my digital clock. The total for all devices was found to be 3,770 watt hours per day. The data from the second table is calculated using the measured values from the meter, the calculated power from the lamp, and the averages from table 1. On the slide, you can see pictures of measurements for the phone charger, laptop charger, and pictures from the lamp. This next slide talks about some of the things that I learned during my home energy audit. The biggest energy users were the fan, space heater, TV, and dehumidifier. One interesting thing to be noted is that even though the lamp was on for significantly more time than the space heater, they used almost the exact same amount of power. Some of the ways that I could conserve energy is to make sure I turn off the TV when I'm done with it and unplug unnecessary appliances when they are not in use. I also thought that the phone charger would take a lot more energy than it did. The measured power usage was much less than the actual usage per last month's energy bill, but that is to be expected, as many of the major appliances were not being measured, such as things like furnaces and refrigerators.